Welcome to another episode of Core Discussions. My name's Legacy.
And I'm Max.
I'm Jay.
And Hunter.
But we are here to recap WrestleMania 39. So, gentlemen, are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
That's better.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so we'll start off with night one. We're going to start off with Austin Theory defeating my boy John Cena by pinfall in a U.S. title match.
Clean as a sheet.
Yeah, very extremely clean.
It wasn't clean. It wasn't.
The crowd on Monday said he tapped out. I didn't see a tap out. I didn't see that.
I saw his he was like, I mean, he kind of looked like it, but he was really doing was reaching for the ropes. He just kept slamming his hand down, trying to get to the ropes. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
This was it was a good match, but it's probably like one of the lower end of the night for night one. You got what you needed out of Cena. Cena's not going to be able to put on those good matches he was used to.
But yeah, this match didn't really have anything memorable. Like, there's really no spots. I'm like, oh yeah, it just was kind of there. Not bad match, not a good match. Not really memorable.
It's good for Austin Theory.
Yeah,
well, yeah.
I mean, because now he has legitimacy to him.
Did this match just serve its purpose of
Yeah.
advancing Austin Theory? Because that's really what it was, of giving him a big name, let him fight a legend.
Yeah, and like Jake said, gives him some legitimacy. He can always say, "I beat John Cena." Not everybody can say that, especially someone as young as he is. But
and at WrestleMania, so you know he's gonna.
Right. The feud itself could have been better. I don't know. It wasn't as hot as I wanted it to be. The feud was just kind of like average all the way through.
It was kind of hard because you only had Cena show up for that one show, and obviously with his schedule, he wasn't going to be able to show up every week to help build it up.
Yeah, Austin Theory still has that. He's not exactly John Cena, but kind of closer to that Doctor of Thugonomics right there. Like, kind of that same attitude of the young star that John Cena kind of was having at the same time. Not as big, but kind of where I'm getting at with this U.S. title. I mean, he's doing well. Then we're going to go into the next, which was the men's WrestleMania showcase with the Street Profits defeating Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Alpha Academy, and the Viking Raiders.
This match had no business being as good as it was.
Yeah, but for a match that had zero build, they did a really good job making this match more fun than it could have been. They had a lot of high spots. So that was really fun to see. But yeah, this was a pretty good match.
Seeing Chad Gable rolling German suplex Braun Strowman was amazing.
I'm telling you, Chad Gable, they could push him and people would buy it.
Yeah, dude, he is absolutely shredded, strong, and he's got now. And people see now that he has actually a lot of charisma.
Yeah,
they need to push him.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Just please. Yeah, I think solid heel.
Oh, and
yes.
Angelo Dawkins knocking the holy hell out of Braun Strowman as well. That was great. Some good spots you need to see in that match. And then the finish was creative too. Like Dawkins reversed someone's move with his legs.
Yeah.
And then he got a frog splash on the back, and then Dawkins turned that into a roll up pin. So that's nice. You don't see that a lot.
We're going to our next match. It was the build up with this internet star who has become professional wrestler. He's been still doing pretty good job. It was Logan Paul being defeated by the king of drip, Seth freaking Rollins.
That jacket he was wearing was.
He was so confident. He knew he was comfortable.
That jacket was absolutely ridiculous. It's like Queen of Hearts-ish, it's just ridiculous.
His entrance was good. You had the conductor doing it. They didn't need to keep redoing the audio.
Yeah, it was mistimed.
They should have just done it the one time just to get the fans.
Yeah.
Because I think the fans would have understood that's what you wanted after the first one. I guess they didn't trust the fans to keep up, which I'm like, every arena does his music. I don't think a single one in the past like at least like months now.
Yeah.
It's good entrance. And then Logan Paul, he went from the rafters, like HBK.
And then he was also accompanied by a Prime bottle.
Dancing Prime bottle, which of course you knew that
would play into it,
especially with the face covering that you saw. You knew that was going to come off at some point.
Yeah.
R-Truth was trending on Twitter after this because because apparently a lot of people thought that KSI was R-Truth. So I had to look up. I'm not, I don't know much about Logan Paul. I had to look up. Obviously, it was a streamer. I don't know what kind of content they do. I'm assuming it's the same like cringe stuff that the Pauls do, but
he's British or something.
Yeah, I was not expecting that when I heard him speak.
Logan Paul's stuff now, like his interview stuff's actually pretty good.
But I don't even know if Logan Paul even does YouTube anymore. He probably does so much other stuff he doesn't need to.
Yeah, he does like some interview, like his show. He'll do interviews, like Roman Reigns was on it, Triple H was on it. It was pretty good. I've watched a couple of them.
But yeah, they had this funny spot where it was revealed that KSI was in the Prime bottle, and then he was like live streaming Logan Paul about to splash Seth Rollins to the table, but then Seth Rollins gets up, pulls KSI, and then Logan Paul accidentally splashes him.
Logan Paul, now that he's playing into his heel persona, he's a damn good heel because people you love. He's the kind of guy you would love to hate.
Very true. It's real. He works it well, and he's taking the business very seriously.
Yeah,
and he does a buckshot lariat better than CM Punk could ever do.
Because he actually landed on his feet. So
Punk's not very athletic.
No. I just got to take a shot at CM Punk any chance I get.
Logan Paul, I'm not gonna lie. Logan Paul is probably damn near close to as good of a wrestler as CM Punk.
Dang. Say that.
Obviously not with like ring psychology or even promo work, but overall the athleticism. If he kept it up, he would easily be better than CM Punk.
Say that out loud.
He wouldn't say that. His face though.
What,
you used to be
face? Yes, what am I afraid CM Punk's gonna fight me? Absolutely not.
You used to
you're like I'll just tickle him.
Fan out of all of us.
I would say, I would still, if Punk came to WWE, I think I would still probably end up liking it as long as someone checked his ego or whatever.
Good luck with that one.
You do a bunch of cringe stuff over the past decade, and then your attitude in WWE, which I mean, I understand kind of why he has an attitude to WWE because the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega must be insufferable to deal with, but.
Yeah,
you gotta be an adult.
You gotta be the adult and not fight people backstage.
But back to WrestleMania, I will also say the build-up was pretty good of choosing these two people to go at it, and like Seth Rollins, they've done on him of he's not he's a face, but he's not like fully face. You're still having him in the heel persona of he's over, but he's a face. He's got him in that tweener role.
Well, and they did
that they've done very well.
Establishing Logan Paul's past because he had routinely screwed Seth Rollins at every turn, the Rumble, the Chamber, and then Seth Rollins got knocked out twice.
Glass jaw Seth.
Yeah, they really made that. That's probably me if I ever got punched. I've never been punched in my life. Yeah, so Seth Rollins just routinely being screwed over by him. Made fans really wanted to see him get stomped, and the fans when Seth Rollins was setting up for the stomp, they were going crazy.
The next match we'll go into our 6-woman tag match. It was Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch defeating Damage Control.
Lita's offense was pretty interesting during the match. Obviously, since she couldn't do, a lot of stuff she used to be able to do, she had to do more like grounded work. But yeah, she did a good job.
Definitely one of the weaker matches of the night, but
because
I don't think anyone expected.
Well, yeah, because like obviously, Trish and Lita don't wrestle a lot, so they're going to be wrestling. So Becky Lynch is going to have to ask me to do a lot of work, and she's good in ring, but not she's
not great.
She's not Charlotte Flair.
Well, and then like the other side is like Bailey's really good, but Dakota Kai and Io Sky aren't. But they're not carrying somebody who hasn't wrestled for a while. They're not to the talent they can carry somebody. Yeah, they're not to that level yet. Which is, they're still young, so I'm not really thinking. Also, who gave Lita that shiner she had the next day? Because that's been I'm like, did she got the hit? Like,
I had to go rewatch that to see.
But yeah, I honestly was thinking that Damage Control should have won because now it's like Damage Control loses every time. So I really don't know what's left to do with this group.
There's really nothing.
They should probably just go ahead and disband it if they're just going to keep losing like this. Because I don't know. They've won one match, I think, together is when they beat Bianca and Tuna
Mhm.
People.
Yeah, it was like early, but yeah, they've been horrible, losing a lot. Which I mean, okay, but it takes away from the group. But it is what it is. All right, we're gonna get into our next match. It was a heated match, involved several interferences. It's one we've probably been all waiting for. Well, like we knew was going to end up coming. I think last year we talked about this match would happen. It was the father and son match. It was Rey Mysterio, Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio, defeating his son, coming right from California Penitentiary, Dominic Mysterio.
Fantastic entrance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how his lawyer got to him to get how they worked that out, but the cops even were there already. The handcuffs they had a lockdown.
You gotta be careful when you're around someone like Dom. He could get you now.
Oh yeah, he's been in prison. He's got a tear. We all know what that means. Once you got a tear on your face, we know what that tattoo means.
We won't say what it means because we would never try to allege that Dominic did this. But, look at it.
But the Mysterio the family got involved. Bad Bunny got involved. And,
unbelievable. Bad Bunny absolutely deserved what he got on Monday Night Raw for what he did to Dominic.
Also, them building heat from the day before with Dom walking out on the Hall of Fame speech. So
that was the best way to do it because then you didn't really interrupt much from Ray's speech in the moment. So that's the best way to do it.
Great build to this match too. They did a great job building up to the moment where Ray hit him because that crowd went nuts when he hit him.
Dominic is going to be a star. Keeps this up.
I will say, like, from this point last year, they have done a lot of good with him, of splitting him up from Ray and like what they've done with him because there's a point it's like kid needs to go heel or something because it's like
when he was tag team with Ray, I couldn't give a rat's patootie about him. I was like, get him off my TV. He was almost like Rocky Maivia. Not that he was as talented, but kind of like the go away heat. Like, dude, get off my TV.
Very true, but his stuff, and what they've done, hats off. We're gonna go into our next match.
Jacob says the wrong man won that match.
Yeah, Dom should have won. I mean, we're cheering for child abuse, is what we're cheering.
Seriously,
come on. Yeah. Plus, so he might be in his 20s, but
Yeah. Plus, Bad Bunny has a problem with Dom, brings out a chair, but had no problem with the Mysterios all hit Dominic.
Yeah,
didn't stop him then. Then
Bad Bunny yanks the chain away. I mean, come on, that's not fair.
We're gonna go into the next match, which is arguably maybe the best match of the night, or of the one of the best of WrestleMania. It should be no surprise to those who are unbiased and don't have this stupid hatred for this person. It was Rhea Ripley beating Charlotte Flair. Good match. Great stuff.
Yeah, they gave them 23 and a half minutes.
That's one of the best women's wrestling matches probably ever. I mean, even if you include the men's, it's still like absolutely one of the better ones that you've seen.
Now, Jacob, you always like to say something about Charlotte. What is it that everyone's best matches seem to be with her?
It's always funny how if you look at everybody's best matches, most of the time it's against Charlotte Flair. I wonder why that is.
We bring that up because there's a lot of people on the internet who think she can't wrestle.
Yep, and she's probably the best one.
Or think she's overrated. I'm like, no, the hype is real. Yep. There's a reason everybody also has to have their big match is against Charlotte Flair.
It's like you just think about it. Sasha Banks, great match with Charlotte Flair. Becky Lynch, good matches, and some of them were even. That one match was even really great. Asuka had a good match with Charlotte Flair. Ronda Rousey had a good match. People think Ronda Rousey's terrible in the ring, and she still had a good match with Charlotte Flair.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte actually talked about how it was weird because she was kind of the face-ish this time. It was like kind of like more.
Yeah,
it wasn't the usual heel heat she had.
Yeah, the build for me didn't really work because, like you said, Charlotte to me when she's playing a babyface, I don't really buy it.
But the right person won.
Yeah.
To see what Rhea Ripley does in SmackDown.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be good, especially with everything with Judgment Day and how big Rhea's been getting.
I'm trying to figure out who Rhea's gonna face.
Yeah, because the SmackDown side is pretty weak, and obviously Rousey and Baszler are doing the tag division.
Who else should you do?
Unless they do a shake-up.
Waste time with Liv Morgan for a little bit.
Because next one's Backlash, so it's like you're going to want her I don't think you want to blow a load on a really good feud. Build something up for SummerSlam, which will make it interesting. But yeah, it was an all-round great match. Those two put on a good one, like you expect. And I think Charlotte now. I think just talking about it's like 7 times I think the last 7 times she's fought at WrestleMania was for the belt, whether she was holding it or she was the challenger.
I think every single time. I can't think of a time she was not challenging for the belt.
I would say for her legacy, she's not just solidifying herself. I mean, for me, she long ago solidified herself as the greatest female wrestler. But she's also putting herself with even like some of the greatest of, I think, awards wise and performance and everything, with like some of the best in the business. That's just me.
She will be remembered very like 20 years from now. She'll be remembered very fondly, I feel.
That was good. We then had a little quick squash match, just kind of a time filler. I mean, it was like 3 minutes. It was the man Pat McAfee making his return and defeating MIZ, The Miz.
It was just a complete waste of time.
Yep, on a show that was already long. I'm actually mad this match happened. So
yeah, that's what was nice. Like, this served no purpose. I mean, obviously it was just to get a pop from the crowd for Pat McAfee, but I mean, the Miz is an absolute channel changer at this point, and I swear to God, I'm telling. I need to find a website that does like ratings by segment and see how many viewers the Miz loses when he's on TV, because it's got.
Well, they're gonna lose one next week if I watch Matt Riddle versus Miz. Turn that off.
Okay, that I don't care, but you need to chill on the Miz. The Miz is still solid.
No,
he's a good heel.
No, he's just
he knows how to get heel. He
needs to go away for a good while.
Jacob, say what you want to say. Forever.
I'd be okay with that.
What do you do to you, Jacob? I don't understand this huge hatred for the Miz.
Assault my eyes.
Miz loses nothing from losing this way because no one has any expectations for him anyway.
So I was looking this up earlier because I keep track of these things. Miz's like pay-per-view record now is like I think it's like 40 something and 73 or 4. Like, dang, he's been a ton of pay-per-views, and 2 he's lost, or PLAs now, but and 2 he's lost a ton, 70 plus.
Those wins have not happened recently.
No. I honestly, I would have to look up his last one because.
Because the only one I remember is last year's WrestleMania when him and Logan Paul won. I can't remember.
That would absolutely have to be the last one then. It would be that tag match.
We're going to go into the main event of the night. It was a story that was built for. It was a story that was built for a good while. A year long. We kind of knew, we had known it was coming. It was the Undisputed Tag Team Champions. The Usos, who had been reigning for about a year, lost to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Probably one of the most invested stories they had with the bloodline and everything going on.
It's a shame the Usos' reign had to end to such a turncoat and Sami Zayn and a bully like Kevin Owens.
Preach it.
He kept talking about Roman's using you. I'm like, how many times has Kevin Owens turned on you, Sami Zayn? So now we're upset with Roman? Now we're upset with Roman Reigns. But Sami Zayn screwed you 50,000 times.
The Usos told Sami that Kevin was going to screw him eventually, and so he can't be mad when that eventually happens.
Yep, the Usos will not be there to help pick him up. They'll be like, we told you, buddy. Mm-hmm. We know this happens.
This was a good match. It was the right main event for the story because this basically whole WrestleMania evolved around. It was bloodline.
The bloodline.
The ending was really good with Sami giving 3 liver kicks to Jay.
It was a predictable story, but it was the right story to tell.
Yeah. I would say Sami Zayn, like, again, I think we've talked about it before. Like, if you asked me a couple years ago, I could have cared less about Sami Zayn. I thought he was like, he's there. But like, once they started the conspiracy theorist with him, that's when I started enjoying Sami Zayn. Thought he did well with that. And then what he did with like last year's WrestleMania with that Jackass match, which was a lot better than any it had to be. And then with the whole bloodline, like him joining the bloodline was like, it fit his character, but it just kind of, they really grew that very well of like, of course you'd want Roman Reigns. Of course you would try. Like, it just fit and never seemed like way out of left field.
Well, they finally gave him a character because before he's white meat baby face. Like it's just to me, I didn't feel like he really had one.
And then of course with him pinning Jay,
it's a crowd pleaser. Of course, the crowd was very excited to see them win, but most of us in here we're Bloodline members, so
we
can't see fam go down like that.
No, it was wrong. The Ooses. We still here, buddy. We still here, Oos. Though you did disappoint Tribal Chief, so kind of on.
That's probably one of the most important tag matches in history.
Yeah.
Just the fact that it won main event at WrestleMania night, and just the story around it.
I don't really know what tag team match I would say was more important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'd have to think about that one, but yeah, well done, well done story, and now what they do next because they're splitting up those belts soon.
We also thought that would happen with the Undisputed Universal title, but we'll talk about that.
All right, so we're gonna go into overall thoughts on night one.
From top to bottom, the better consistently wrestled night. For me, I mean, I was most excited to see the main event, so I think that's still to me that's a big point for day two. But day one is probably better than day two.
Definitely day one.
I missed part of day one a good chunk because I was at work, but I caught enough. It was good.
Some good matches.
All right, we're gonna go on to day two. All right, so night number two, we started off with Brock Lesnar defeating Amos. It was also the second quickest match of the night.
I mean, everyone knew this was going 5 minutes tops, and it went almost exactly. That was 4 minutes 55 seconds. But Brock Lesnar sold well for Omos. He was bumping for him in the beginning. He's letting himself get thrown all across the ring. But then in the end, of course, he would get some Germans. A couple of them were actually pretty impressive Germans, especially for someone like Omos. And then, of course, it was a question of if he's going to hit the F5, and it actually was a pretty good F5 because he did an attitude adjustment like he usually does for big guys.
Like he does, like Big Show especially. I like what Omos fans call themselves, and WWE's even referenced on Twitter.
What is it?
Omos Sapiens.
Omos Sapiens.
I like Omos's first theme song, but this one's starting to grow on me though.
I can't say the same.
After this night, I was thinking, I wonder what's left for Brock to do, and then Raw happened, and obviously we know now what Brock's going to do.
We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that after this.
I mean, the match was what it needed to be. It did set Omar as a threat. He did do a good job of dominating Lesnar at first, which you rarely see in the match outside of Goldberg. So it set that up. And then it sets up that Lesnar is one that can conquer almost any obstacle outside the bloodline, apparently.
He would have had him. I mean, no man, I'm roaming all the way. Sorry.
I'm sorry, what was that, Max?
Yeah,
Nothing.
What was that?
That sounded like a slip up.
Did the old Max come out for a second?
No, L Max is dead and buried.
Alright, yeah, okay.
Mm.
Yeah, let's keep it that way. I'm gonna have to keep my eye on it because that was pretty sus.
Very sus. All right, we're going to our next match. It was the women's showcase. It was Rousey and Baszler defeating Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, Natalya and Shotzi, Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville.
Yeah, this match was actually worse than I thought it was. In fact, my favorite part of this whole thing was Sonya Deville's entrance because I like her theme music.
Dude, they need to do more with her because you give her that Final Boss music. She needs to be in that.
That might be who she might challenge. Okay, we'll get into it in a second.
I mean, the right team won.
Yeah, they didn't do anything the whole match.
Yeah, it just seems like I know. And then Baszler's boot came out, so I don't know if she's hurt or not, but maybe she's fine because I haven't read anything on her being hurt. Anywho, but it just felt like a waste of Rousey. Like you put Rousey in that kind of match. I don't know. I feel like they could have done more.
Honestly, this was just a legit match just so that Ronda, Baszler, Liv, and Sonya had a match. That's literally what it was for.
Yeah.
Was just to give them a match. That was it. To put those people in WrestleMania. Because you can't have all of them out there with how big they are. Well, two of them with how big they
One
are.
thing
The other
I'm
one with
mad
how much you
about
pay.
WrestleMania is that we couldn't find 5 minutes to give Bobby Lashley a quick squash match or something.
And we could have done some LA Knight. Where was that?
Yeah, you could have even had Lashley squash LA Knight, just do like an impromptu match, and I don't think he would have lost too much from being squashed.
You could have had Bobby Lashley one night, LA Knight the next, do the same thing. This is with better people besides Shane and Pat McAfee.
We're gonna go into our next match, which was once described just a bunch of meat. This is probably one of Max's favorite matches ever. Just bunch of man meat right there, just getting in and slapping each other.
Biggie's philosophy on wrestling is absolutely true.
And what was that again?
Big meaty men slapping meat.
He said, "Give him that over your."
Or bumping meat is I think what he said.
He said, "Giving that over your 60-minute classics, right?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Don't give me flips. Give me meaty chop.
It was Gunther defeating Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. But yeah, now you can go.
But yeah, Gunther, his entrance. I mean, Ludwig made him look like $1 million. This dude looked like an absolute star. And I like the way they framed the shot where Gunther was standing on top of the ramp, or what you want to call it. I thought that the shot made him just look like he was a total badass.
He's a final boss.
Yeah, exactly.
Gunther's absolutely the one that needs to be breaking the Honky Tonk Man's record.
Yes, I don't know if you find anybody besides the Honky Tonk Man that would dispute that.
Yeah, so Honky Tonk Man is 454, and then Savage was 414. Gunther is already the third longest, looks like.
I think he will break it.
The chops in this match were fantastic.
I mean, these men beat the snot out of each other. It was fantastic.
Personally, this was my favorite match of WrestleMania.
This is it's either this or Rhea Ripley Charlotte Flair for me. But it is really good. Drew and Gunther's chop off is a sight to see. And then one of Drew McIntyre's chops was legit one of the lightest chops I think I've ever heard.
Sheamus again having that nice little mark on it. You could always tell with Sheamus just because he's so pale. You see that nice mark.
Well, yesterday you probably saw 2 different hand sizes on that chest.
There's also this funny spot where Sheamus had Gunther in the Beats of the Bowery, and then they were alternating between that and Drew McIntyre chops.
Oh yeah, that was funny. Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, the right person on. I wonder what Drew McIntyre's been losing a lot on PLEs. So I wonder what they're gonna do with him.
He's got to move to Raw.
He needs to, because Raw doesn't really have all that not good face in terms of star power.
True.
Like Seth Rollins.
I mean, they're probably gonna
Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, but like, after that,
they're probably gonna wait till they split the belts up again before they do all that. The next match we'll talk about was the Raw Women's title match. It was Bianca Belair winning her third straight WrestleMania for a title over Asuka.
I was telling Jacob and Bobby after Bianca came out for her entrance was set up with all them kids. I said, "There's no way she's losing."
And then you hear the backstory of one of the girls in that group, and then you're like, "Oh, she's definitely winning." But obviously, Triple H, they didn't reveal that until after the PLE. But I mean, I honestly felt Asuka should have won because Bianca Belair, held the title for a year. And Asuka had previously never won at WrestleMania, still hasn't. Then I just felt that she needed to win to establish, her new heel character.
Yeah. This heel character is pretty much dead right now. It's gonna be hard to build it back up.
DJ, but here's the thing: Bianca Belair is gonna be the female Undertaker. She's undefeated at WrestleMania now, so they're gonna have to keep this streak going.
I mean, I'm okay with that. I'll be fine with it in retrospect because Bianca Belair is really good. But
yeah, no, it's been good, and I think Bianca's supposed to kind of fill that void Sasha left of kind of being that next person. She's not gonna be Sasha, but that void of that other big sport.
I think she could be bigger than Sasha.
As a hot take to me, she's a better wrestler than Sasha.
Depending who. Depending who you ask, because there's some members of the IWC that will rave that Sasha is the greatest thing since sliced bread from women's rooms.
There's a lot of obsessed fans on Twitter. It's kind of weird.
Not that I enjoy Sasha, and I thought she was a great wrestler. I thought she's great.
She's not the best of all time.
Good. Yeah. But let's be honest, like she is not better than Charlotte. Let's be real. Let's be real about that for 10.
After watching this match and the Rhea Ripley match, this is definitely a main event of WrestleMania. Ripley and Belair, that's a main event match.
I absolutely feel that's the way to go for next year.
We'll go quickly to the next match. It was Snoop Dogg defeating Mr. Awesome Miz, taking 2 L's.
Miz's 2 L's doesn't equal the L that Shane got.
Tore his quadricep. Sucks. Though, shout out to Snoop Dogg and them for switching script and finishing that thing really well.
That was really well done.
Yeah, because it looked almost smooth. Like, so you could, we all knew Shane was hurt, but you could have almost been like, he might not be hurt with how quickly they, moved to the next play.
So I will give Miz credit for him and Snoop coming out in the fly. So that would be the one nice thing I say about the Miz.
Hey, that's like father like son tearing your quad during a major pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was just so funny. He made this big return and then
I think Shane needs to realize it's time to stop the jumping. You're getting up there in age.
Yeah.
But that's his thing. What else?
That's his thing, but he's too old to be doing it.
When your body gives out on you like that, you just don't bother doing it again.
Yeah, I mean, when it happens at WrestleMania of all places too, everyone knows like, yep, you want to hang it up, pal.
Yeah. All right. We'll move on to the next match. It was a match long time coming. It was Hell in a Cell. It was Edge defeating the Demon, Finn Balor.
I'm so glad this feud's over.
I'm glad this feud is over, but I'm gonna be this guy. I'm tired of pretending it's not okay. I do not like the Demon.
Look, I'm gonna be that guy. Okay.
I'm tired of pretending it's okay though.
Yeah, well, we were making fun of it the whole time. All of us, I tried to make the Demon work for me, and it just does. Every time I see it, it's so corny to me.
I so much prefer funny heel Finn that pops off during matches.
Because like every time we saw him do his little like growling thing with like blah blah blah.
I couldn't care less about the Demon.
Yeah, and Annette loses her ish every time the Demon loses, which is now twice. So they probably are pissed off at this match.
That was a good match.
We could have done without the color coordinated weapons.
Look, my biggest issue.
If you're gonna do it, you might as well commit. Like you fully.
My biggest issue was they didn't do it for every weapon. That was my biggest issue.
Why was the ladder not purple or red?
No, why was only half the kendo sticks one color? Why? Just do all kendo sticks.
Someone dropped the ball.
Clearly, and one table was purple and the other one wasn't. What's the point?
It's fully commit, man.
Ben Balor got the absolute crap cut open his head.
Yeah, he did.
That was a nasty cut.
I wish they would let him bleed, man. We didn't even get one good look at him bleeding.
Yeah, it slowed down the pace of the match because the match was getting pretty good up to that point. But then it still was pretty good. But
I agree. They were getting into gear when that happened.
I feel like they lost the gear. Yeah, if they had just kept going, which I know it's hard because especially if you look at the pictures after, that cut was deep. So,
yeah, it was.
So he must have been gushing.
What do y'all think about Edge's entrance?
I thought it was fine. I saw that the internet was making fun of his get up. I honestly didn't think it was that bad. I mean, I don't know what the issue is.
It's kind of horror movie inspired, so I dig that.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked the introduction of what song is it? This Slayer song, and then to go into his entrance. So I thought it was good.
What I would really like if the Gangrel was there with him.
He got a mention on WrestleMania, so I'm sure he feels happy about that.
As he should.
All right, we'll go into our last match. It was the match that they were building up to. Once again, for the umpteenth time, Roman Reigns was main eventing. It was Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, once again winning at WrestleMania and defeating the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the shock of the night. I for sure thought Cody Rhodes was winning.
Yeah, I thought he should have won, but
Dark Man won.
But I mean, if they have Cody win at SummerSlam, I think it will kind of make sense.
They could even make it at next WrestleMania. I could see them
really definitely doing the Dusty Four Horsemen story where Dusty kept being
Yeah, they really
screwed
are.
over and over again until he had to climb so many obstacles and he finally got to Flair.
Yeah, and now he has to.
He lost a match to Flair that people thought he was gonna win, kind of like Roman and Cody, but so and fans still remember that storyline finally. So maybe we'll see what they do, but obviously they've given Cody Rhodes quite the hill to climb with his next opponent.
This match was really good. I think a lot of people would rate it higher if Cody had won because it would have been a story book ending. But I still think the match was very good. And to us, Roman fans, it's not the worst thing in the world for Roman to win. So I don't mind that.
I know some people think that means Cody Rhodes is no longer be a main event person. I think it's clear from what they showed that he will constantly be in the main event because what a babyface is there besides him and Sammy.
He's one of the biggest stars in the company. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I saw some people say he's going to get lugered. He's not getting lugered.
It's one of those, what I thought was going to happen didn't happen, so now I'm upset and I'm going to complain because I've been waiting for a moment, especially with Vince coming back. People just been waiting to complain again.
I was going to talk about that we talk about the Raw, but no, I mean, if they do it like they could even, like I said, they could even send it to next WrestleMania, but as long as the end of the story is Cody Rhodes getting the belt, I think it's still going to be a big moment.
I think so, and it was still a good match. You had all the things. You had the Usos showing up, Sami Zayn and KO showing up, and kind of what you expect.
I know some people are getting tired of the formula of Roman cheating to win essentially every time. I think they've done a great job of making that integrate into the story of the other characters coming in.
It I think to the fact that it's such an impossible task to beat Roman.
Well, I think what Cody or anyone should do is like go Roman into having no one come in. We're telling them like, "Hey, let's not beat Strong without help."
You think someone could trick the Tribal Chief?
Well, so Max and I were talking earlier, and we said that they're gonna have to do something like you're gonna have to have someone that equalizes all the other ones. So obviously, you have Sammy and KO neutralizes the Usos, so now they need to find someone that will neutralize Solo because Solo was the one that ultimately cost Cody the match. So
it's a Solo neutralize Solo.
Allegedly.
So, yeah,
he took the hood off. He took the hood off.
No, that could have been switched. It could have been a different person in the hood.
Yeah, allegedly.
So Solo has a twin.
They could. I don't know.
I don't know. His brother's a twin.
There's like 200,000 of them, man. Every Samoan over there besides Samoa Joe.
Can we also talk about the biggest controversy of the night? Cody Rhodes clearly kicked the ref. All right, how is that not a DQ? This has been bugging me the whole time. He kicked the ref. No DQ when the ref got up. It should have been done. It really is bugging me.
It's real egregious officiating. I hope Paul Heyman will see to it that the ref never officiates from a Reigns match again.
I'm sure he's on it.
Oh yeah. So it ended with Roman continuing. Now to 947. I think now it's 947 days with it. And actually, I think today marked the year he's been Universal Undisputed Champion for a year.
Yeah, he won that last WrestleMania.
Yeah, because he beat Brock. So
yeah. So shout out to you, Roman.
Just an absolute legend.
Chief. Our tribal chief. Still there. All right, so let's go into the Raw after WrestleMania.
Don't you mean, Philip, the worst Raw ever, according to the internet? Clearly, they did not watch 95 Raw because Jake and I see some doozies. Even though it's only an hour, it's a painful hour. Yeah. And this Raw wasn't even bad. There wasn't any big debuts or return. I mean, Matt Riddle returned, but there was no big thing, I guess. So if people want to complain about that, and I think it's more to do, like you said a little bit earlier, people just got sour grapes that Vince McMahon is reportedly back in charge of creative and all that. So I think a lot of that plays into it.
I hope that's not. I hope he doesn't have too much control because
I hope so too.
Yeah, because Triple H has been doing well.
Well, and Triple H's promo at the beginning of Raw hopefully means that he's going to still make most of creative.
I think also with for me, I thought it was fine because it's it built to the next. It hit WrestleMania, but it built to the next pay per view. Of now we see with Backlash what's going to happen. They've alluded to it, like we were talking earlier. Bad Bunny. It's probably going to be a tag match with Ray and Bad Bunny. Priest and Dominic versus Bad Bunny and Rey Mysterio is probably going to happen. The other elephant, the big one, was Brock Lesnar. We can just go ahead and hit that one.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Lesnar says he's going to team up with Cody Rhodes to fight Roman and Solo, and then Brock Lesnar betrays Cody Rhodes, and now that's probably going to be the match for Backlash, which I personally like. If Cody wasn't going to win it, then like, no offense, we all think he's going to probably win it at a major pay per view. The next major one's SummerSlam.
Yeah. We got to take some time.
Roman will hit the 1,000, and then he's probably going to drop the belt at SummerSlam. But like, you got to take, that's still a couple months away. Like, what were you really going to have do? So Roman's probably not going to be at Backlash because you don't need him now. You don't need Roman at Backlash, and also. What was said? Money in the Bank is right before that. Cody's probably going to win Money in the Bank, cash it in for SummerSlam, and then he'll win it. All will be fine.
Yeah, and I was actually surprised with the heel turn from Lesnar. I didn't really see it coming just because why would he help Roman when Roman has been like his arch enemy for this latter half of his career?
I'm going to need him to cut a promo to explain. Yeah, so you had them wrestle, and obviously Cody wins, and then you continue whatever the next Cody challenge is, maybe or something.
So you have that build, and then he'll cash in, and bam, Cody will have his moment.
Yeah, but the internet's all doom and gloom on WWE right now. WWE's going to be just fine.
Yes. Oh yeah.
They got a $21 billion company behind them.
Well, also people are saying AEW is gonna. This is why AEW is gonna take over. Apparently, Bayley's leaving WWE. 2 other major stars are supposed to be leaving, and I'm like, okay, are we fact checking any of these people?
I mean, I could see people leaving, but the major players are going to stay. I mean, they're not making any more money anywhere else, and Tony Khan can't sign everybody.
And sometimes I'm like, okay, so it didn't happen your way. Like, let's see what they do instead. Let's let it play out and all. Let's let this thing play out and be ready.
If the fans had their way, everyone would have lost all the way back at Clash at the Castle against Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, which would have been like,
then you wouldn't have to Cody story.
Very true. And and I think people also have to realize, like, if you get it your way all the time, it doesn't make it special. It makes it special when you get it. It makes it special because you don't get it your way, and so when you do get it your way and everything happens, it makes that moment bigger.
Do you mean WrestleMania? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes. Yes, I am referring to that. I mean, yes, there were some mistakes happening, but like, if fans like sometimes give it a second, let's see what they're doing, it'll be fine. But overreaction's a constant thing we see, whether it's in WWE, whether it's in sports, or stuff that's not sports and entertainment. We constantly see it. Overall, that was it. So how do we feel about this WrestleMania?
This was a good WrestleMania, very good.
Really good.
If Cody Rhodes had won, I think a lot of people would say this would be one of the best WrestleManias of all time.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I agree.
Give it a few years for the Cody story to play out, and I think they could still say that.
There will be things that I come back and watch again, unlike the pay-per-view where Miz beat John Cena.
Yes.
Classic.
One of the worst WrestleManias. That's what we got for you today. Hopefully we'll be doing a recap of WWE SummerSlam. We're going to try and do a better job this time because I know I said we're going to recap most of the big ones, but then stuff happens. This year we are going to recap at least the major 4. So we'll do SummerSlam in August. We'll do Survivor Series in November and Royal Rumble in January. If you like these, please let us know. Thank you all for watching. Please keep up. Please keep your support going. Keep your likes, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Please comment. Let us know your thoughts. And literally, if you want to talk about anything. My name's Legacy.
And I'm Max.
I'm Bobby.
And there's the Mountain. And may the discussion begin.